boys and girls. Our visitor is here today. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
A little late, boys and girls. This is Lolu's mom. Like I said, taking time out of the morning. Hi, mommy.
Hi, Boo. How you doing?
I'm great. Okay, so she's going to present to you what her job is, and it's really, really interesting. I'm really excited for you to get to see this. So whenever you are ready, you can take over.
Okay.
All right.
Let me put this on here. Let's see. Okay, so let me share my screen. I am present now.
Boys and girls, you can pin her to your screen so you can see her screen bigger, okay? Just hit the little pin button over her head.
What can you guys see?
We're good, we can see it.
Okay, good. So good morning, awesome boys and girls. I'm so glad to be here today. My name is Beams, just call me Beams. And I'm here to talk to you about what I do. So let me quickly give you an overview of what we will be talking about today. I'll be talking to you about who I am, what I do every day, how did I get here, what did I have to do, did I go to school, and I'm going to talk about what an everyday is like in the life of doing my job. And then I'm going to show you some awesome things about Roblox that you can do yourself. And I'm going to be asking you guys back and forth questions, so make sure you interact and speak up. And at the end of the day, just keep your questions. I'm going to take all your questions, okay? So, my name is Adebimpe Daniels. Like I said, you can call me Bims. So, has any of you ever played Roblox before? Just show your hands. Great. Has any of you ever built a Roblox game before? Oh, Sahana, great. Good. I can't wait to speak to you about that because I'm going to show your colleagues or your friends how to actually build one themselves if they want. Has any of you actually received a package from Amazon.com before? Like, did you ever buy anything on Amazon? Your mom? Great. So, but I don't think any of you had a chance to go into the warehouse where we actually ship those, products from. Have you ever been to an Amazon fulfillment warehouse? Has any of you behind the scene? No. That would be an interesting trip when COVID is over. I can discuss with Ms. Klassen if it's still something you can do. But the picture right here on the right is a view into what it looks like at an Amazon fulfillment center in New Jersey. We actually have one here in Edison. And guess what? It's free to the public. When COVID is over, you can tell your parents to go sign up and take you there. You will see a bunch of orange robots. Look at them at the bottom. What you're looking at is a full automation. We use those robots to get the shelf, to get your product. They will take it to the humans that will then put those products that you ordered online into the box. So it's kind of magic. When you order something online, it goes straight to the Amazon system and the robot knows where your product is. It runs in there, pick the product, take it back to the human. So why am I saying all this? This is because this is what I do every day. I don't build robots. I don't build games. But I have to know how every of those systems work. And my job as a solutions architect is to be responsible for learning what a company, let's example Roblox, what they want to build. So they come to me and say, okay, Beams, we want to build this awesome game. They know how to build their game. They know how to do their thing. That's what they do. But I want my game to be played in China, in Japan, in Canada, in the US. And you know, I want my players to really have a good fun, and I don't want the game to be lagging. I want everything to be able to jump, this, that. So as a solutions architect, my job is to first of all listen to what this business wants to build. So when I have a sense of what they are trying to build, and I sit down and say, okay, as a solutions architect, how will I design their system for them? So when you're playing a Roblox game, let me go back for a minute. It goes beyond just what you see. There are a lot of components that come together, a lot of technical jargons I don't want to go into. So for me, that as a solutions architect, I'm going to go back to Roblox and say, okay, can I see what kind of TV you have? I'm just giving an example, what kind of remote you have. Then I can show you how to make sure you build this game so that kids like Aishans, Doris can be able to play from anywhere in the world. So essentially, I have to know how a game system works. So when I'm saying system, I'm saying the brain behind the controller, like the manager that is managing how you play the game. So when you press a button, you're giving a command to the manager. Okay, manager, I want to move this girl from here to here. So my job is to make sure that that is working as you want it to work, and at the same time giving you the fun you need. And I have a lot of things I have to learn in the background. I have to learn, you know, how to write programming languages. I have to learn maths, how each of these things will fit, and have to have a very wide range of how different systems work together. For example, today I could be designing a solution for Roblox, being a game company. I also have to understand how robots and, you know, artificial intelligence work together, which is my specialty. So enough rambling. Let me talk about who I am. So I am Beams, like I said. I came from Nigeria, Africa, to Canada, and I had to study a lot of maths when I was in high school. I had to study a lot of physics, chemistry, and some programming languages. And this is the reason I didn't study all of those, because I wanted to be a solutions architect. It wasn't even a thing when I was in school. But for me to be in a science or engineering field, if anybody is planning to be in that field, you know, you have to know a bunch of all of these things. And meaning that when it's time for me to go to college, I can decide to go into any field. For example, sorry about the noise, there's something going on outside. So for example, I can become a civil engineer where I can be able to build houses. I can become an astronaut like Lolo wants to become, where I can go to the moon. But I have to have a foundation of maths, English, and all those little subjects that you guys are taking now. They actually add up when it's time for you to go to college. And then when I got to college, I took a course in computer science. That is the field where they teach you how to write programming languages, how to build awesome blocks, awesome games like Roblox, and some other things. So why is that important? It's important because you have to understand what command you're trying to say to the computer, because the computer is smart, but at the same time it's quite dumb. It may be surprising to you. You have to tell it what you want it to do for you. And sometimes there are problems with the computer. It doesn't listen to your command sometimes. But then, you know what we do? We come in and say, okay, let's fix the problem for you. Why is it not listening to your command? These and many more things are what you will learn from here right now. You're actually doing so right now by learning about math, English. Those are the foundational blocks for you to continue to become a solutions architect or a software, sometimes they call us software engineer, or you can even become whatever you want to become if you have those foundations present. Now, let me ask you, Sahana, you said you built a Roblox game before. Do you know how all of this come together? Do you know what a client is called? Do you know what a server is called? Do you have an idea?
Yeah.
Can you tell us, please?
So a server is like when you join the game, it's basically you can join other people in the game. So basically, it's a server where there's individuals. So you join a random one, and then there might be other people playing. And the server is like launches the game for you.
That is amazing. Thanks, Sahana. That is excellent. So let me explain to you what's happened there. So I'm going back to the Roblox game. Let's say one of you the Roblox game. You are doing that on your computer, for example. You downloaded the software, you started, creating your hobby and putting all those things. What you're doing, your computer is regarded as a client. So your client is like somebody bringing a plate for food. Hey, here you go, I want a hot dog, right? Somebody has to respond to you. You're sending that command to somewhere. It's not just going into space. So wherever that is going is called servers. And they are like the managers I was talking about. Sahana creates a game. They say, okay, Sahana is telling us to create a space. So it's like a space for her on the server. Okay, Sahana, tell me what to do. Okay, you want to create a suburban, atmosphere. You want to create a human being. You want to create this. It's listening to Sahana's command in real time and giving Sahana what she wants. So after she has created a game, it's like putting your clothes into your closet. She has it. She has a password. She can go in and do whatever she wants. But guess what? She then publishes the game. When she publishes the game, everyone in the world can actually see the game from the server, from the manager. So for example, I'm here in New Jersey. Let's say Sahana is in Japan. She published her game. I say to the server, the Roblox server, can you give me Sahana's game? I want to play. It gives it to me. Yes, I start playing. Anything I'm saying to the game, the server is the one telling me how it works. Move here, move there. So I, as a solutions architect, my job is to actually figure out on the server at the back end, what are the things the Sahana and all of you may need to play the game, and how do I make sure whatever you're telling the server to do, the server has the capacity to return your command to you. So that is why you see this gibberish picture here, diagram we call it. And what it's telling me, what I'm trying to tell you here, for every step that either Sahana or you may be taking, I want to tell the system what to do. I want to provision for the system the power. It's like, you want to go play outside and you haven't eaten, you're kind of low on energy. You don't want that. So I have to make sure the server has enough components it needs to run your command as well as Sahana's command, all at the same time. And I also have to make sure I manage all of you so that you don't bump into all of you, into yourselves. I have to make sure I store your data. So for example, if Vidit created his own profile, saying I'm a boy, I'm 12 years old, I have to keep that somewhere. And if he gives me a password, I have to also keep that somewhere. And the next time he's trying to get into Roblox server, we have to make sure we're giving the right information that belongs to Vidit and not Vidit's information to Angelica. So this is just a sample of what it looks like in the back end of what I will be telling your Roblox system to do for you. This here is a very technical diagram I'm not going to go into, but just to give you a finished sample of what it looks like. So these are the servers that we were talking about. They are the managers, and this is you right here. You are the player. You're trying to get into the Roblox server when you want to play the Roblox game, and I have to make sure I write the necessary code. I put everything in place to make sure these managers called servers respond to what you're asking it to do. And at the back here, I'm going to make sure each of your command is being served by different application. For example, if Sahana wants to build an image, one of this is going to respond and say, okay, here you go, here's the image Sahana is looking for. And if, for example, Angelica says, okay, I need to create my profile, Where do I store this information? Like I said, it's right here at the back, and we call this bunch databases. That is where the computer keeps all of your information in a safe place and is able to give you what you request at the point of request. So, what do you need to become a solutions architect? You need dedication and hard work and your awesome self. You just have to be passionate about what you're doing. You have to, love it because it's very challenging. And guess what? Every profession is challenging. But if you put so much work in it and believe in yourself, you can do anything you want to do. Like I told you, I came from Nigeria. I came by myself. I went to school. I studied hard. And guess who I work with? I work with Amazon today because anything you want to do, like I tell Lulu, you have to focus and give it your very best because even though it's difficult, it could be, but you can do it. It's just for you to dedicate yourself to it. In addition to that, you need some technical knowledge. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about some programming languages. There are some they call some Python, they call another one Lua. Lua is the one you actually use for Roblox gaming. And then you need to know your math, your English, because I have to do a lot of communication. What I'm doing with you girls and boys is communicating to you. And why it's challenging is that I have to make sure I communicate in the language you will understand. I'm not going to be talking about some technical jargons with you here because I know you will not be able to get it. The same way if I have to communicate to a chief technology officer is different from you. So as a solutions architect, I have to understand the complexity of the conversation, not only of the system. I have to be able to translate the knowledge I'm trying to convey to you or to a chief security officer in the language that they understand so they can be able to, work with me and understand what I'm trying to propose to them. So you also have to note, you have to know how to negotiate. You need to be able to be analytical. What does that mean? Be able to tell a story about what goes from A to B in a way that your audience will not be bored. If you're bored right now, that means I'm doing a terrible job. Are you guys still enjoying me? Give me a thumbs up if you're good with me. I appreciate that because I'm so scared I'm gonna lose you guys. But thank you for responding. So you need a college degree, like I said. You need to finish your middle school. You need to finish your high school. Then you need to take some exams to get into college, and then you decide what degree you want. But for my field, you can do any degree in computer science, mathematics, engineering, information systems. Any of those could qualify you an entry to becoming a solutions architect. And of course, you have to understand how business works. So that because figure this out. If you're trying to build a house, at the beach, you have to understand how the beach is. You have to understand before you can be able to build any house, you have to understand, is there a strong wind at the beach? The kind of materials I will use for the beach, because of its strong wind, it will be different from the kind of material I will use to build a house in the forest because the wind speed is different. So that is why you have to understand the business you're trying to build a solution for. And all of this will be taught, most of it will be taught in school, but some of those you have to learn on your own. That is why you need personal dedication and hard work. So, moving on. This is what a Python code looks like. You're telling a computer what to do. Computer is so dumb, trust me. You are super smart. Boys and girls, you can build the world by a command. You just tell it to do something and boom, it does it. So here, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to tell it, okay, computer, give me 2 plus 4. Boom, it gives me the answer 6. Okay, give me 5 times 56. Boom, I get my answer. Anything I put into it. So the question you want to ask yourself before you even start coding is, what do I want to build? So you put a paper down and say, okay, I want to build a house. How do I want to build? I want a person to go from x-axis to y-axis. You put all those down in your on your paper, which is what I do. Then you come to the computer and say, okay, now computer, I'm ready to talk to you. I want you to do this for me. Tell 2 to go to 4 and the computer will start doing it for you. Why is the planning important? If you don't plan to, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I have to make sure I see everything on paper and say, okay, this is how my house will look like. I want to have a 3-story building. I want to have a basement. I want to have 3 doors. Then when I have that on paper and I'm sure it's going to work, how do I test it? I come to the computer and say, okay, computer, here is my architecture. Now let's put my first floor in. 2 plus 4, 5 times 6 is my second floor. I start telling it line by line, and then it builds the house for me. Let me show you an example. So there is a website here called Code Academy, and I'm going to give the link to Miss Clausen. She's going to share with you. I have some other links because I really want to challenge you, boys and girls, at the end of this session, when you get back home, to use these resources and build your sample game. And I don't know if I'm allowed to give you guys a gift, but I'm going to tell Miss Clausen, if you could build me an awesome product, I'm ready to sponsor a gift for the winner, okay? So look at this Python script. Can you still see my screen?
No.
Oh, no? I'm sorry. Let me...
I turned the chat on also if there's any links you want to put in there for them, too.
Oh, okay. I will give them to you in an email, then you can decide which one you want to share with them.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure they are not commercial websites, so, the kids can. Here we go. 1 second, share. Can you see it?
Yeah, yes, we're good.
Good. Now look at this. This is a Python program. It's very simple. You just have to learn the rules. So what is a programming language, by the way? It's like English that we're speaking. It's like your language, like Indian language, Nigerian language. It's any language that you speak. But the only difference is I'm speaking it to a computer, So I have to understand the computer. I have to make the computer understand what I'm trying to do. And guess what? Just like you have the rules in English language, you have the grammar, you have the syntax, your comma, your dot. The same thing with computer programming. You have to learn where each of those things fit together. So what am I doing now? I'm saying, okay, first of all, I want to create, let's say somebody called Brian. If we call it variables, this is Brian. And I'm saying, okay, Brian, I want to keep this word inside of you. And it could be anything. I can say, hello, let me say, not veil, boys and girls. And this is free. You can try it at home. It's fun. You have to experience it. So if I say, hello, boys and girls, I'm telling it, can you store whatever I put in this quote into Brian for me? And end of story. It's going to do that. But I can't see because I haven't told the computer to show me. I have to tell it. Remember, it's very dumb. I have to tell it everything I want it to do. So then I say, okay, you know what? Print hi. And I said, after you print hi, print my Brian. Remember, Brian is up here. It's my variable. So I'm saying, okay, print it for me. I want to see it. And if I say run, look to your side. Look at it. Say hello, hi. The first one I have to do. So the first one here, and then say hello, not veil boys and girls. You notice that you didn't see anything from line 1 and line 2, right? The reason that is because I'm telling the computer here with this hashtag, ignore this line. This is just a comment for myself or to the next person reading my programming work. And it's not going to print it, but it's going to understand what I put there. But let's say I say, print this for me. Let me say print. And I put the parentheses as required. I put the quotes. And I say, let me delete this one here. Okay. And I go to the, here we go. Let me take those parentheses up. And you have to pay attention to the parentheses, the single quote, the double quote, because again, if you don't, it's going to give you an error and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm going to rerun this program and you will see what is going to happen now. Watch this. Look at the magic. Boy, I have a new set of line above. It's telling me whatever it's inside the parentheses. So when I put the hashtag, it disappears. When I say print, it tells me what I want to see. And the second line is saying, okay, put this whole thing into Brian. That's all it's doing. I didn't ask the computer here, show me Brian. So it's not going to show me Brian. It's just going to do what I asked it to do. And then the moment it comes to the third line, because it's going to start going from line 1, 2, 3, going to go to the end of the program. And everything it encounters, boom, it does it for me. So the third line, it says print I. It says hi. Look at it, hi. Whatever it is. So this is how you begin to build a software, which is a Roblox, for example, which is whatever runs inside that robot that you saw, those robots you saw at the Amazon Fulfillment Center. It's all programming. So whatever you decide to do in the field of computer science, computer engineering, it all comes together for a solutions architect, because I have known about all these different pieces, and that is why I have the ability to be able to solution for a company. So going back to my presentation, that brings me to the end. Can you guys still see my stuff? Let me see. I think okay. So I may want to actually reshare my window. Give me 1 second. Okay, you're presenting. Let me present again. Okay. Can you see, which window can you guys see?
We can see the programming that you were showing us that says hi, boys and girls.
Okay, great. So let me bring the Roblox here. So let's have some new. That's the end of my presentation. I'm going to take your question, but before we do, I want to give you a challenge, like I said. So each of you, when you get back home, when you get a chance, during your skip class, just if you have a computer, by the way, you have to seek your permission from your parents if you can download a game. So can you see the Roblox game now?
No, we just see the what you were doing with the
okay.
boys and girls.
Let me stop presenting. A window. And let me say this.
We can see it now.
Great. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had my camera on all this while.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm sorry, boys and girls. I've been speaking like a robot since. So, let's do something cool. So Sahana knows. So, for those of you who don't know how to build your own game on Roblox, this is how you start. You first need to go to Google and say, okay, Google, can you show me Roblox Studio download? What is Roblox Studio? Roblox Studio is whatever you're seeing on my screen right now. This cool interface. It's like a box that you need to build your game, essentially. So that is where you have your tools, that is where you have all the commands that you need, and that is where you have the programming, the programming language that you need to tell the computer. So it's called scripting. So, and it's here. If you see something here, so this is an example. It's similar to what I just showed you for the other program. So you have to tell it what you want it to do. Remember that. So the first thing you have to do is to download this old box, Roblox Studio. You download it on Google, you see it, it's actually roblox.com/create. I'm going to share the link with Ms. Clausen. Again, you have to seek the permission of your parent because this can be heavy on your computer. If your computer don't have the capacity to run this, you're going to run into some problems. So you want to make sure you check with your parents. When you download this game, this is where the fun starts. The first thing you need to do is just say, okay, give me file and give me a new file. Can everybody see it?
We see the gray that you've been presenting.
Can you see any background, like the game itself?
You can see the game.
Okay, good. Can you see my arrow where it's going to file to the top left? of the screen?
No. I can't see anything.
Okay, let me reshare. That's okay. I'm going to reshare the window, and it's gonna be the Roblox window. Can you see the game now?
Yeah.
Great. So like I said, when you download the studio, this is what you get. You can see it says yes, Roblox Studio. So let's assume I don't have this. No, to Suburban. I'm gonna close this. This was something I created. So you have to first of all create your user profile. You give yourself a name, and this is the first thing you will say if you're clicking this the first time. And what is showing you is your hobby. That's where you start from. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this. So you just pick whatever you want to. So for example, I'm gonna pick, suburban, or let's put something scary, right? The moment you click that, it's preparing your space to start, writing start designing your game. So you will start with scripting and tell it what to do. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to send along with this link a link of instructions. So Roblox created a cool step-by-step that you can take to actually build your game. It's very simple and easy. So in the interest of time, I'm not going to run through that. It's going to take us a while to run and ask questions, but you can see how easy it is to first of all get started. Isn't this awesome? You have to feel proud of yourself that you actually created something here. So the moment you start adding all the different components, you see it's a lot. Those things you play, they have different things come together. They have the figure. The figure is separate from this staircase. It's different from this. So all of these are different components that you have to put into the game. And guess what? The moment you finish designing your game, you can come here and say, you know what, now I want to publish my game. And when you publish your game, because when you're building it here, it's only you that can see it. You can play it, you can test it, you can do whatever you want to do it. But when you're sure this is exactly how I want my game to come out, you will go and say, you know what, now you can publish it. So what that means is going to show it to the whole world, and your classmates can play it at the same time with one another. And as you are playing it, as other people are playing it, guess what? You're actually earning money. Isn't that cool? So that is my challenge for you boys and girls. You're gonna go back home and try to create a game like this. Whoever makes the most amazing game, I'm gonna speak with Miss Clausen and she's gonna tell you what gift, if I'm allowed to give you a prize for that. So that brings me to the end of my presentation, boys and girls, and I will take all your questions if you have any for me.
All right. Thank you very, very much. So interesting. I already see some hands up. I just put on the chat box, but you can call on them. I told them to either raise their hand or put their virtual hand
Yes,
up.
I saw Ishan first.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Ishan.
Go ahead.
So I like try. So I have the link for the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I get in there, it's saying some money thing that you need to like pay money or. So
No.
how do I get in that?
Sahana, you're shaking your head. Thank you, you're there.
Did you make a Roblox account?
I have a Roblox account.
Okay, so then maybe try not from the link, try going in Roblox, and maybe you didn't download it. And that's why.
So you have to download the Roblox Studio. Remember, it's that box that allows you to create your own game. If you just go on Roblox and create an account, you're telling Roblox, I want to play a game. And they may charge you to buy Roblox, and that is how the game owner makes their own money, by buying those coins. So you may want to download the Roblox Studio. I'm glad Sahana is in your class. You can set up time with her to put you through, in addition to the links that I share. So, okay, Lulu, go ahead.
Okay, so you sell game passes for Robux only. You don't actually make any money. Also, the Roblox Studio you have to download, and yeah, technically you don't pay any money. And if you want people to play your game, you actually have to spend Robux to advertise it, and then you can get people to start playing it. Or else not a lot of people are actually gonna join.
Thank you, Lulu, for your insight. Sahana, you want to correct something that Lulu said? I was going to allow you to do that.
He's right about the advertising, but my game I never advertised it, and I have like 100 visits because you can show all your friends who play Roblox, and then they'll see your game.
That is so true. That is so true. And the more they play, the more you get more players. You know, the more you have, they can buy your Roblox coins and make money. Who has asked a question? Thank you, Ishan. I see you posted the link. That is right. That is where to download the link. I see. Any other question before I look at the chat?
Yeah, we've got a few hands up. Sia.
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
My question is, are you a part of the advertising? Like, do you help like advertise the games, and like do you help them advertise it? Like, so if for example, if I advertise a game, do you help like put it on the Roblox page, and then people start joining?
That's a good question, Celia. So my job is not to do the advertisements. My job is to actually create where the advertisement will go inside the Roblox server. And what that means is that they will tell me, okay, we want to put this advert everywhere. So they will put your game either on Roblox so that people can see when they join Roblox, or they put your game, you know, on Google. When people search games, they could put your advert anywhere. It depends on how much you're willing to pay them. And they will give you this many options of different platforms. We call them platform. For example, Facebook is a platform. It could be on Facebook, anywhere people can see it. So, but what they are looking for when they do the advert is to make sure you tell them who is your target audience. So for example, if you're building a game and it's for your boys and girls, your friends, 4 to 9 years, they will only show this advert to that particular group of people. So I don't help them with that. I just help them creating a space where they will put the adverts and how the adverts will run.
Natisha?
So my question is that when we're like coding in the Python, and we have when you wrote like name and
What's going on? Is that my?
I think she froze up.
Yeah, she froze up.
All right, Sharia, go ahead.
Is there any other like free coding links?
Absolutely. Yes, I do. And I'm going to give you a bunch. Like I said, I'll send everything to Miss Clossie so she can coordinate that. And I see somebody said they play on Scratch. That is the best, one of the best websites, because you know who owns Scratch is the MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I'm sorry, pardon me. One of the best technology school in the world. And we have several, you know, programs, even at Amazon, that you can do that even can earn you scholarship while you're having fun building different things. I'm going to share all of this with Ms. Clausen. You can do a competition. We have different, even robotics competition. I have different links that I will share with you. You give to your parents, ask them to enroll you so that you can actually build robots amongst other people. That is how you can actually develop your skill and your interest in computer science, engineering, and maths.
Okay, I think we'd like to see Aruj.
So when you did that coding Python thing with the Brian and all that stuff, did you put Brian variable settings and my variable last? Shouldn't that since the Brian variable is the same last one is string and the high second, shouldn't it be the other way around?
Oh, you're asking if I can put the quote first before I put Brian. I can say, I love Northville equals to Brian. Is that your question?
No, like, when you get the blind variable,
Mm-hmm.
it shows last it shows the last thing on the screen. But for the high variable, it shows the second thing on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But the coding is the other way around.
I didn't really understand the question, Miss Clausen. Do you understand it?
No, I'm not really sure. I think he was saying something about when you were typing Brian on the screen, that when he does it, it's like the other way around. You had Brian at the end, but he puts it in the beginning.
So you can have the word Brian anywhere, but the computer understand. So like I told you, it understands a set of rule and languages, right? That is the way. So you have. It's like I want to speak to you. I'm speaking in English. If I spoke to you in Japan, I mean in Japanese, would you understand me? No. So the computer understands that when I put a variable like Brian first, and it's ready to put whatever I'm giving it on the right answer into Brian. So if I switch things, I'm gonna get a different result, and you can try it out. That platform is free. I'm gonna share with Miss Clausen. You can, whatever you're asking me, you can try it and see what it's gonna tell you. That is the whole point. You can be creative. You can even create your own programming language and say, okay, this is how I want this rule to apply. Because guess what? That Python is actually one of the simplest programming language that we have to learn. We've had many much more difficult languages in the past. But because people have been, like you, are very creative and they're like, you know what, let's do it another way. You can do it. There's no limitation. But for this particular program and language, you have to stick to the rule. Okay?
Thank you very, very much. All right, so I think Sohana has her hand up, and I'll just make that our last question or comment, and then we'll wrap it up. Go ahead, Sohana.
So I made my game without coding, but there's like, so when you add something in the game, like a block, say like a block, basically sometimes there could be a virus and it can do something to your computer, so you have to be careful with what you use.
Exactly. Thanks for that answer, Sahan. So what she said, that's another thing that I have to do when I'm doing a solution for them. I have to make sure that some bad players do not get into their system and corrupt their system with bad codes. So I'll have to put some things behind the scene to make sure that I protect children like you from running into such problems. And Taran, I see your question. Whatever is on the right in quotation mark is called a string. You're right. You boys and girls are so smart. And I see somebody saying that code the hug is too easy. Yeah, it's too easy. I'm going to give you a more challenging one. So, you know, they create all these things with different complexity level. So you choose your level. Don't stay with the basic. If you are too advanced, move to advanced and create great games and win competition. That's what I'm talking about.
Very good. Well, I thank you so much for coming on to do this with us. I learned a ton from you. My kids play Roblox all the time, and I didn't know all of this, went into it. So very, very interesting.
One last thing, Miss Clausen, can I just say one thing? So all of you boys, another challenge I want to give you. Did you know that Roblox just went, I don't know how to say this to you to understand, but there's something they call stock trading. So Roblox has gone public where they're asking all of you to bring your money and invest in them, and they will give you back some money on your money, they give you some returns on your money. Since you all love to play Roblox, tell your parents to buy you at least one share, which is like $68. I think, yeah, $68 to $74. And you know what? By the time you get into high school, your money would have been maybe like $1,000. So think about that. Yeah, that's another way to make money. You're not just playing the game, you're actually making money while you're playing the game. So that's something to talk to your parents about. Okay?
Oh, interesting. All right, thank you so much. I just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to come on here with us. I know there's many of the children in the class that are very interested in coding and math. Something I thought you said that was so cool is that I actually think this might have been Lolu that asked me this one day last week. He said, "Why are we doing all of this?" And I said what you had said is that all of this work, while it's hard every day, what we're doing, it all builds up. This math, this reading, this writing, it all builds up, boys and girls. You might not see it,
Yep.
but it'll bring you to that point where you could be something like this. You could be an engineer.
Yep.
You could be designing these really awesome things for others.
Yep.
So I love that message, and just to work hard and, you know, love what you do. So very, very cool.
Thanks for the opportunity, Ms. Clausen. I hope I'm able to, you know, incite your excitement onwards. And don't look into it. Start coding, build the next big thing. You can become the next Tesla. You can build, you know, we need a lot of imagination out there to reduce our energy, footprint, and be able to do something without using fuel. So think about it. Keep exploring, you know, keep learning and keep creating. Don't worry about making mistakes. You will learn from your mistakes.
Definitely. Yeah, and all those links, we have a section in our Google Classroom of what they should do when they're finished with their work. So all of those websites that you talked about, you share with me, boys and girls, I'll place them in the Google Classroom. And the one that your parents need to approve, I'll send that out in an email to your parents, okay?
Yep.
So thank you so much, boys and girls. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, Hall.
Mommy,
Yes,
there's
darling.
something we can do to block out hackers and stuff.
You can tell your friends in class that Miss Clausen have to go, okay?
So we're gonna go to do some math. We're gonna go get smart with our decimals right now. So.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good one.